A warm welcome to all my students. In today's class, let's learn an interesting chapter from history. Children, take page number 62 in your textbook. Before watching the video, as we teachers often used to tell you that, take running notes while watching the video. So today we are going to discuss about the Guptas and Vardhanas. In today's class, let's learn about the important Gupta rulers and their political achievements. Gupta's contribution to literature and science and expansion of Gupta Empire. Children, in last lesson, that is in the previous lesson, we were discussing about Mauryas and Kushans. After Mauryas and Kushanas, the empire of Guptas arose. After the collapse of Mauryan Empire, the northern India was ruled by Kushanas and the southern India was ruled by Shatavahanas. Both the empires ended by the mid-3rd century CE, and the Guptas were the feudatory rulers of Kushanas. They were ruling in the present Uttar Pradesh and established the base for a vast empire after the decline of Kushanas. Their rule kept North India united from 335 CE to 455 CE. Now let's learn about the Gupta dynasty in detail. The Gupta dynasty came into power by 275 CE. And the founder of this dynasty was Sri Gupta. Sri Gupta is the founder of this dynasty. Gupta dynasty started their rule from Prayaga. Later, Guptas made Pataliputra as their capital. Pataliputra remained as the capital of a vast Gupta empire. Guptas were encouraging religion, art, literature and science during their period. Now let's learn about the sources of references of Gupta Empire. The following sources are useful to know about Gupta's empire. First one is the pillar inscription of Allahabad. Second one is Mehruli's pillar. This iron pillar in Delhi near Qutub Minar is very important. It is 23 feet and 8 inches in height and weighs 6,000 kg. It is one of the finest examples of the technical skill of the time. It has not become rusty till now. That shows in those days, Indians had a sound iron technology. And we'll come to know about Guptas even from Vishakadatta's Mudra Rakshasa and Devi Chandragupta. And even from Rajashekhara's poetics, Kalidasa's literary works, Kaumudi celebration of Vijike, and from the writings of Fahian and Etsin. So these are the sources of references which are available to know about Gupta Empire. Children, the historian V.A. Smith calls the period of Guptas as a golden period in Indian history. And this opinion is contested by many historians. Now let's see about the important rulers and the administration of Gupta Empire. The Gupta Empire rose in the 4th century AD after centuries of political instability. The great historian V.A. Smith, as I have told, called this period as Golden Age of India. The vast Sanskrit literature and discoveries and inventions are testimony of their achievements. The Guptas are believed to be the original inhabitants of the northeastern region of India around modern-day Bihar. Chandragupta I was one of the early rulers of the Gupta Empire. He married a Lichavi princess, set up his rule in Magadha and eventually expanded his kingdom. Chandragupta I was called as Maharajadi Raja and he was ruling in the period of 319 to 20 CE. Chandragupta I was succeeded by his son Samudragupta. The achievements of Samudragupta have been commemorated in Harisena's Prayag Prashasti written in Sanskrit. And even in the Ashokan pillar, it was inscribed. So his achievements are inscribed even on the Ashokan pillar. During the reign of Samudragupta, most parts of India were under the rule of the Guptas. Samudragupta was a great poet and lover of music. The gold coins which depict him playing on the veena shows his passion for music. Samudragupta is known for the performance of Ashwamedha Yaga. He has done Ashwamedha Yaga. And Chandragupta too succeeded Samudragupta. He expanded the kingdom by defeating the Sakas and making Western India a part of the Gupta Empire. He became very influential by developing strong relations with many Indian royal families through marriage. Chandragupta too was given the title of Vikramaditya. He encouraged literature and art. Kalidasa, the famous Sanskrit poet and dramatist, belonged to this age. Kalidasa has written many poems like Meghadood, Raghuvamsha, Kumarasambhava, Ritusamara, or the poems which were written by Kalidasa. And dramas were Abhinjana Sakuntalam, Malavikani Mitram, Vikramoshvasyam, Mrichakatikam was written by Shudraka, Mudra Rakshasa was written by Vishakadatta. The Gupta Empire declined due to the continual attacks of the Huns. The Guptas did not have large army. During war, the king's vassals would fulfill the requirements, so they become very powerful. The administration was decentralized and the bureaucracy consisted of Kumar Amatyas, who headed various positions. The priest received many grants and villages and developed many temples. These areas enjoyed financial and administrative concessions and became independent in all matters. Society grew more and more complex as the inhabitants, farmers, and artisans began to be controlled by the landlords. The trade that the Guptas had with the Westerners collapsed during this period. The restrictions imposed on their empire obstructed their internal trade and their economic system started suffering. The collapse of the trade caused the decline of the city centers and Pataliputra got reduced to a village. Chandragupta Vikramaditya was known to have commissioned 9 scholars known as Navaratna in his court during his rule. The Navaratnas were Dhanvantri, Kalidas, Varahamihira, Bhaskara, Aryabhatta, Charaka, and Sushruta. Dhanvantri was a noted physician. Varahamihira made significant contributions to the study of astrology. Bhaskara contributed greatly to astronomy. Aryabhatta made significant contributions to the study of mathematics. He discovered zero and pi. Charaka wrote Charaka Samhita. Sushruta wrote Sushruta Samhita, which dealt with the science of surgery. Various devotional and religious texts like the Purans and the Dharmashastras were created during the Gupta period. So these were the great achievements which was during the Gupta Empire. Children, now let's learn about Meghadood, which was a poetic creation of Kalidasa, and it is one among his very famous works. So in this poetic creation, Yaksha is exiled by King Kuber for having neglected his duties. In this situation, the Yaksha stops a passing cloud and persuades it to carry a message of love to his wife who lives near the Kailash mountain. He describes the beautiful scenery on the route to his wife's place. Even today, this poem is famous all over the world. It has been translated into all the Indian languages and major languages of the world. People have been enjoying the dramatization of Meghadood till today. It is one of the greatest poetic creation of Kalidasa. Now let's see one of his famous drama. Now let's see one of his famous drama or the best drama of Kalidasa. Abhinyana Shakuntala. Shakuntala was a beautiful maiden who was the adopted daughter of sage Gandha. She lived with him and her pet deer in his hermitage in the forest. One day, Dushyanta, the king of Hastinapur, came hunting in the forest. He saw the beautiful deer and shot an arrow at it. Shakuntala found her deer whimpering in pain and tried to comfort it. Shakuntala loved the animals of the forest, and her affection for the animal touched Dushyanta's heart, and he asked her to forgive him for his cruelty. She forgave him, but asked him to stay in the forest for a few days to tend the wounded deer. They fell in love, and King Dushyanta married Shakuntala and gave her a wedding ring with his name on it. The king then left for his kingdom after promising to return soon and take Shakuntala back with him. One day, sage Durvasa came to Shakuntala's door. He repeatedly asked for water, but Shakuntala was lost in thoughts of Dushyanta and paid no attention. The sage was insulted and got angry. And who was known for his temper, he cursed Shakuntala, saying that the person whom she was thinking about would forget her. When Shakuntala heard the curse, she was frightened and begged the sage to forgive her. The sage said that he could not take back the curse, but he could change it. The person whom she was thinking about would recognize her if she showed him something he had given her. Due to the curse, Dushyanta forgot Shakuntala. After days of waiting for him to return, Shakuntala decided to go to the capital to meet him. On the way, as Shakuntala was crossing a river, a wedding ring fell into the water. A fish swallowed the ring. When Shakuntala arrived at the palace, the king did not recognize her. He asked her to prove her identity, but Shakuntala did not have the ring to show him as it was lost. She wept and told the king about the time he had spent with her in the forest. He couldn't remember anything. Feeling sad, she left the palace. Ashamed to return to her father's home, she started living alone in another part of the forest, where she gave birth to a son. She called him as Bharata. Bharata was a brave boy. He grew up among the animals of the forest and would play with wild animals. One day at the king's palace, a fisherman brought him a ring. He told the king that he had found the ring in the stomach of a fish that he had got. When he found the king's name on it, he had brought it straight to him. As soon as the king saw the ring, the curse was broken and the king remembered Shakuntala. He was very upset and hurried at once to her home in the forest to look for her, but could not find her. In despair, he returned back to his palace. A few years passed. The king again went hunting in the forest. There, he was surprised to find a boy who was playing with a lion cub. The boy fearlessly held open the mouth of the cub and said, O king of the jungle, open your mouth wide so I can count your teeth. The king went up to the boy and asked him about his parents. The little boy replied that he was the son of the king Dushyanta and Sakuntala. Dushyanta was very happy to have found Shakuntala and asked the boy to take him to his mother. The family was united and Dushyanta took Shakuntala and Bharata along with him to Hastinapur. Children, did you all enjoy this story? Which was the best drama of Kalidasa. Aminjana Shakuntala is one of the greatest dramas in the world and it has earned great acclaim all over the world. I think you would have enjoyed the story. Children, in today's class, we have learnt about the important Gupta rulers, their political achievements, and their contribution towards literature and science, and the expansion of Gupta Empire. And we have seen about Meghadood, the poetic creation of Kalidasa, and the best drama of Kalidasa, Abhinjana Shakuntala. Now let's move on to home assignment. In home assignment, I have given you 5 questions. First question is, who is the founder of Gupta Dynasty? Answer is, Sri Gupta is the founder of Gupta Dynasty. Second question, who called the period of Guptas as the Golden Period? The historian V.A. Smith called the period of Guptas as the Golden Period. Third question, whose achievements were inscribed by Harisena in Ashoka Pillar? Samudragupta's achievements were inscribed by Harisena in Ashoka Pillar. Fourth question, write a note on Mehruli's iron pillar. Children, for this answer, you can refer your textbook, page number 64. Now I'll tell you the answer. The iron pillar at Mehruli in Delhi near Qutub Minar is important one, which is of 23 feet and 8 inches in height and weighs 6,000 kg. It is one of the finest examples of the technical skill of the time. It has not become rusty till now. That shows in those days Indians had a sound iron technology. Next, fifth question is, name the scientist of the Gupta period. The scientists of the Gupta period are Dhanvantri, Charaka, Shushruta, Aryabhatta and Varahamihira. Children, write all these answers in a sentence. Don't write like a one-word answers. So write all the answers in a sentence. Understood? Now let's move on to the workbook assignment. In your workbook, take page number 42. In that, 42 and 43. First main, complete the following. Question number 1 to 5. In page number 43, second main, answer the following question number 1 and 2. In page number 44, first main, choose the best alternative. Question number 1 to 5. In page number 44, second main, fill in the blanks. Question number 1 to 3. In page number 45, third main, complete the following. Question number 1 to 3. Children, refer your answer key and write all these answers in your workbook neatly. In next class, we shall learn about the scientist of Gupta period in detail and as well as about Vardhanas. So these two topics we'll be discussing in the next class. Happy Christmas holidays, children. Thank you all. We'll meet you in the next class.